Time doesn't exist, not the way you think. Physics has already proven it. Particles don't travel through time. They flicker in and out of existence only in the present moment. Religion has been saying the same thing for thousands of years. In the Quran, Allah says he's closer than your jugular vein. In the Bible, God doesn't call himself I was or I will be. He says I am. Right now, eternally present. You think you're moving through past and future, but you're not. There's only one eternal frame of reality. And everything you feel, everything you include inside yourself in this frame, it transcends across all of them. If you include fear here, it bleeds into eternity. If you include gratitude here, it echoes through every possible version of you. And the truth is, most people are sabotaging themselves by polluting their eternal moment with doubt, with lack, with resentment. So here's the question you have been avoiding. If this is your only eternal moment, what are you including in it right now? Because if you had everything you ever wanted, you wouldn't be waiting for it. You would feel it here. You would choose to install it into this one moment. And that's the only place creation actually happens. This isn't philosophy. This isn't self-help fluff. This is physics. This is scripture. And it's the one law you can't escape. There's only this. Hey, and welcome to this video. I will in this video give you practical examples on how to really manifest. Because a lot of you guys, you are maybe reading Neville or you are into law of attraction or something like that. And what he really is saying when he tells you to feel the wish fulfilled, when he tells you that you are only I am, that you only have this moment, what does that mean? And I know what the common problems are because I have a lot of clients. If you would like to be another client of mine, then link is in the description. We have these 3-month coaching programs where I take you from where you are now to where you have your dream life. And I work with clients all over the world in business. They are actors, they are athletes, they are everything. So link is in the description. But in this video, I will talk about a continuation of the video that I posted yesterday. And I'm going to draw it for you again, where we only have this present moment. And you know this to be true already. And I will just write it down. The eternal now. You have never been in the past, right? You cannot go there. It feels like you have a past because you have memories of it. And 1 second ago, you just experienced. But you always experience it now. You're never like behind the now or after the now. You're always in like this moment, right? And science has finally backed this up. Yes, there's only one moment. Also in terms of how atoms work, how electrons work, how everything works. Let's just put past here and slice it over and future here and also give that a line. So you only have this eternal now. This is your moment to shine. And whatever you feel now, you are feeling across every experience you have ever experienced. So if you are including a thought, a feeling from your past in this present moment, don't think that you used to believe that. Don't think that that is a feeling that you can put behind you. No, it transcends everything. Everything you would like to feel, you feel across all moments you have ever experienced when you feel it now. You only have this moment to point your system, your vibration in a specific direction and attract everything you ever wanted. You only have this moment. And you will tell me, yeah, but I also have this next moment. Yes, that's true. And you also have this moment. So it's really important to decide, so what would I broadcast in this moment? If I understand this to be true, then what am I broadcasting right now? And how much patience really will I have for it to materialize? Because physical reality, the way you experience time, it works in a way different way then your mind works and the spiritual realm works. And when you enter into imagination, you can manifest things instantly. You just think of a polar bear. Hey, it's there, right? But in this physical reality, the place you call reality, which is actually the least real thing you know. But let's not talk about that right now. But it takes time. There's some delay in it. So how much patience will you have that if you include what you would like in your present moment, mentally, emotionally, vibrationally, how much faith can you have that it will show? Because that's how manifestation works. And I will give you some practical examples right now so we can talk more about, well, how to do this. What is actually hurting you? Because I think for a lot of you guys out there, you don't know you're hurting yourself because you are employing a tactic. You are employing a strategy. Yes, but I know I don't have money. I feel lack, so I would like to manifest. Well, if you include lack in your now moment, you are including it in all moments, which means that you are telling the universe that even if I had everything I would like, I would include lack in that moment. Because this moment is all you ever had, all you ever will have. So the feeling you have right now is your broadcasting feeling. It is the thing you are sending out. And that's why it's very important to just be what you would like to be. Feel what you would like to feel in this present moment. And yeah, you say, yeah, but I can't. How can I feel abundant? Well, you can when you make the choice to educate yourself to the point where you can have a recognition that this present moment is a past reflection. It is lacking. It is behind you. You already made this moment. So why feel bad for it? Right? You made this. So you can choose to feel bad about it, or you can choose to acknowledge it. Yes, that is what I made. Obviously. And right now, internally, I'm jumping ahead of time again, and I'm making a new image in this external reality. And this is how you would do it in every area of life. If you would like to be a professional athlete, or maybe you already are, but you would like to be even better. No matter what you would like, a new contract, a new team, you would jump ahead mentally. Live in that. What would that entail? What feelings would it have? What images inside you would it have? We can talk more about later in this video, how would you include it in a protocol in your day. But you go live there mentally. And if you stick to that, include it in your now moment, you will have it materialized very fast. Attention, focused on something, will solidify. The problem with your attention, it's all over the place. It's on your TikTok feed, on your YouTube feed, on thoughts, on emotions. It's everywhere. So the universe really does not know what to give you. Is it lack or abundance you want? Every time you broadcast lack, okay, I'll give you more of that. That is how consciousness really wants to serve you. Like it always wants to give you way more than you are asking for. So really know that you can have way more than you are asking for. If you stay in abundance, you will have more than what you're asking for. If you stay in love, you will have more than what you're asking for. There's no limitations to consciousness, or God, or Allah, whatever you call it. It has no boundaries. Consciousness knows no boundaries. There's really nothing that you cannot have. There's really nothing that you cannot get. But you need to find it first, internally. And that is how Neville talks about this, actually. He calls it sin. When you are out of alignment of your true aim, what would you like? And if you cannot include that in the present moment, you are sinning. And then it's time for forgiveness, really. Forgiveness is the opposite. How can I give myself what I am aiming for in this present moment? How can I know that to be true internally? Because I realize it will be my reflection. And how can I stay with that? So faith is really not believing, it's knowing. And knowing is a choice. Will I know it to be true before it happens? Because it is happening. It's just not materialized. So you're not waiting for it. It is being created. You have asked for it. Right? If you are in a restaurant and you are ordering something, you don't doubt it. Maybe if it's a bad restaurant, you know it's coming. You ordered it. It does not matter if it takes 10 minutes, if it takes 15 minutes, if it takes half an hour, maybe you'll ask, hey, is my food on its way? Yeah. But you will never doubt it. So even if you try to visualize it once more, in that visualization, you will not do it because you doubt it. You just miss it, right? It's you. It's a part of you that you would like to include faster, right? So, examples of professions. If you were an athlete, what would you include? What kind of focus would that be? What kind of relief in your system would that be? How proud would you be of yourself? What would your parents tell you? What would you tell your parents, your kids? How would that feel? Included in the now moment. Both as an auditory thing, someone telling you stuff, or you telling someone stuff, or something, you telling someone something. That's it. How would it be visually? What would happen? How would it be sensory? Are you touching something? Are you experiencing something with your senses? Smells, heat, cold. Include everything in your now moment. Really know it to be true beforehand. It's the same thing with an artist. If you would like to be world renowned, if you would like to be very famous, how would that feel? Right? What would happen? Is it your images or your paintings being sold for a large amount of money? Include that in the now moment. See it as if it's true. What's the price? Hear it being said that your images is worth way more. See it that you are being mentioned in different magazines as the next big thing. Right? Really include everything you want in your now moment. The same thing with a business person. And I coach a lot of you already. Include that final scene where everything has worked out in your now moment. Be very proud of it. So if you would like to be a millionaire in the now moment in terms of feelings. Know it to be true, but also hold the emotions that were true if you had everything you wanted. If you want to be a billionaire, do the same thing. Really get to know that internally. And it takes some time in the beginning to know how would that mentally be for me. And then know if you include it in the now moment. You don't really have to do anything else. So if I would tie it to my coaching program, I have 3 phases: the self-perception reset, the belief encoding, and the frequency embodiment. And I've taken my phases out of common problems. So I'm solving 3 different problems. The self-perception reset. The most common problem in you is that you don't recognize that you hold this power. So we are resetting your self-perception. You need to know who you are. That you are an extension of God. That you are very powerful. Some would call it source, awareness, consciousness. And some people would stop there because it feels very good to recognize that you are your awareness. You are your consciousness of being. Right? You can just get to know yourself with closed eyes. Realize that I'm just the observer of every thought, every emotion. Yes, and we don't have to go through specific exercises right now, but that's the step number 1 you need to do. To realize, yeah, but I only have this moment. Whatever I'm observing right now is the beginning of materialization. Step number 2, belief encoding. So if I would like to move on from just recognizing myself an extension of God, what would I then like to focus on? Would I like to live in a cave? Would I like to just live in eternal bliss? Some people would like that, and that's totally fine. But for some of you, you would like to use that power in the area of life where you would like to excel. And that's totally fine. That's what it's like to be human. It is having a human experience. And if you decided to be a human, having a conscious experience, then you would not have decided to be human. Enough about that for now. So decide, belief in coding, it is what would we choose and how would that look? And then in my program, obviously, we'll have this different exercises on how are we sketching this out? What does it look like? How could we make scenes, images that would make that feel very true in the now moment? How do we recognize which emotions it would elicit in us? And how would we transcend that into our system? How would we embody that? And that takes us on to the final phase, the frequency embodiment phase. This is where you get to walk in it every day. And in this phase, you need to recognize your triggers. That is the most important thing. And that's because it's the most common problem. Yeah, but my wife, my husband takes me out of my vibration. My colleagues takes me out of my vibration. No, they don't. You are handing your power away. So in this phase, we are really talking about, so how do we anchor it? 3 times a day, 5 times a day, until it's so solid in you that nothing can touch you. And this is really the unstoppable phase. This is the phase where you can do everything. When you realize that you are nothing in terms of identity, you are just what you have rested your awareness on, then you can just choose. Choose to be a millionaire, choose to be a professional athlete, the best singer in the world, whatever, right? And you can follow your soul journey, some would say that, what feels right. Or you can just follow what you're doing right now. I'm not going to decide what you're going to focus on. I am, however, here to help you make that real. Because I instantly recognize your power. Everything positive you say about yourself, I recognize that as true because I know it to be true. I know it to be true before you know it. So in some very relevant sense, it's very easy for me to coach you. Because I know where you're going, I know you have it in you, I never doubt it, and neither should you. Let me just check if I missed something in this video. Yeah, finally, maybe. So tell me right now, what are you including in your internal moment? Because that's all there really is. So if you book a call with me and say, yeah, I'm struggling, I feel this, I feel that, write it on a list. The headline should be, I'm including this in my internal moment. And then write what you would write me. And then realize, okay, right now I'm really broadcasting. I'm really observing a reality that is not there yet. And it's not the easiest thing in the beginning to include abundance, love, perfection, infinity in your now moment. It is, however, very possible to get to that place within a few weeks. And when you do that, materialization needs not take more than 2 to 3 weeks. Even very big things, they can come like that. And you don't need to do the planning. And we'll talk about that another time. But the planning and the when, the how and the when, that's not your problem. You just broadcast what you would like into your life. And then the rest of it, that's up to God. Consciousness, Allah, awareness. It is collectively greater than you. So it will find the path of least resistance. So give it to you. If you want money, it will give you money in a way that you did not expect. If you want health, it will give it to you without any boundaries. What are you including in your now moment? But most importantly, take this advice. Do it. Include it in your daily routine. Do something about it. I think that's it. Get out of here. Talk soon. Bye.